actually got a robot manufacturing company building giant mechs for our new theme. Make sure you guys smash the link, crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. So Duelist Advance is going to be home of the Goten and the new robot theme, and they were advertising it to us in the commercials in between, which was a really interesting marketing ploy that they had. But we're going to be starting off here with RB, the Brute Blues. And I love that name so much. This is going to be a new Link 3, and it's going to be 2+ machine monsters to make this. So it's not entirely generic, it's just generic across the board for machines, which is really cool. So this card gains the following effects while this card points to an RB monster. Now, just one RB monster turns this on. So gains attack equal to the total original attack of the RB monsters it points to. And then it can make a second attack during each battle phase, and this thing cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Okay. And then during the main phase, we can add an RB card from your deck to your hand, and you can only use this effect of RB, the Brute Blues, once per turn. So Konami literally said, here's a Link 3. It turns on when you have one RB monster pointing to it, and it's at a 1500 attack points. So basically your big boss monster's job is to get really, really big depending on the monsters that, you know, he's going to be pointing to, which is going to be pretty good. And we can cheat him out, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So first up, we have the RB Goten Driller. So if you control no face-up monsters, or the only face-up monsters you control are RB monsters, we can special summon this card from the hand. Okay, that's free. You can only special summon RB Goten Driller once per turn this way. And during the main phase, if this card is co-linked to an RB Link monster, we can quick effect, pay 500 life points, target one monster your opponent controls, destroy both that monster and this card, and you can only use this effect of RB Goten Drill once per turn. So Konami literally said, hey, we're going to go ahead, we're going to give you guys free special summons. You guys need the ability to get your monsters on the field as fast as possible. Well, the drill is going to beam itself on out, and then it can basically take care of a problem card that the opponent has. I like the fact, also, paying 500 life points to basically be able to detonate and blow up threats on the field as a quick effect, by the way. That's where the value, I think, really comes in with the drill, is just the simple, you can clean this up, and now your opponent's going to have to deal with the reality of the situation that, guess what, everybody? Very, very easily and very able to handle up a lot of the power stuff that we have here. And then we have the RB Goten Cutter. So, same thing out here. If you control no face-up monsters, or the only monsters that you control are RB monsters, we can special summon this card from your hand. And you can only special summon one RB Goten Cutter once returned this way. And when your opponent's spell or trap card or effect is activated, and this card is linked to an RB Link monster, we can pay 700 life points to destroy this card, and if you negate that effect. Alright, and if you do destroy this card. So we got an effect negation here, which is not something that you've got a pop now, and you're giving this deck a spell and trap negation, which, okay, I honestly, I'm not too particularly keen on this. I mean, the whole joke here is, you know, you're cutting through the spell and trap card itself and basically eliminating the threat of what that card can do. But 700 life points to negate a spell and trap card, 500 to pop a monster. I mean, realistically, is that worth it? I think it is. Especially since both of these are going to be, you know, utility options for you to be able to basically utilize for basically free, because, you know, they're both free special summons. You know, we still haven't got to the part of cheating out the big Link 3, which I think a few people are going to be like, well, you know, does the rest of this stuff matter? Well, it does. So we have the RB, Vulcan Rocket. And this is going to be a level 5. I'm really disappointed in this one personally because I wanted this to be an Earth monster. That way we could, urgent schedule, go second, and play probably one of the coolest ideas that we've had in a while. But if you control no face-up monsters, you can, or the only monster you control are RB monsters, special summon this from the hand. You can only special summon RB Vulcan Rocket once per turn this way. And if this card is linked to an RB monster, we can pay 1,000 life points to target 2 cards your opponent controls and destroy them. Also, or including this card, and if you do inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. Now you can only use this effect of RB Vulcan once per turn. Now, interesting enough about this. This particular effect is not a quick effect, which understandably so here, because I can't really imagine that they would want you to be able to go too crazy with this, because imagine a world where you would be able to just use that as a quick effect, use the other tool as a quick effect. You're basically be getting 3 forms of interruption, and Konami doesn't necessarily need you abusing that much. So I understand why they did put the limitations on this, but all 3 of the utility pieces themselves are going to be good. And then we have the RB Volcan Booster. It's going to be 2 machine monsters. So if this card is link summoned, we can add an RB spell from your deck to your hand. So anyway, on link summon, free search. Oh boy. If this card is in the extra monster zone, you can start summon an RB monster from the hand or graveyard in defense mode. Then you can move this card you control to another of your main monster zones. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for machine monsters with 1,500 or less attack. That's where they're going to get you. They're going to lock you except for machine monsters with 1,500 less attack. Probably a very annoying problem with this deck is going to be this sublock. If it was machine monsters, I would have loved this, with no limitations. The ceiling would have been endless for the things that we could have worked with. But no, they had to put this stupid sublock on the archetype because they don't want you going too crazy with that. And I understand that. Also, if you just use this to search for an RB spell on Link Summon, you can still basically continue to play the game. It's only when you push it out of the extra monster zone that that lock actually comes into play. And you've also got to pull a piece out of the hand or the graveyard in order to get that extra value, set up. So not too bad. Now, let's talk about the Funk Dock. This is going to be your field spell. Lovely, isn't it? I love that. So when this card is activated, we can add an RB monster, or an RB card from your deck to your hand except for Funk Dock. And each time a monsters your opponent controls is destroyed by a battle card effect, gain 500 life points. Oh, okay, sure. Another archetype for time. And if a face-up RB monster you control leaves the field by a card effect, you can special summon an RB monster from your deck. You can only use this effect of RB Dock Funk once per turn, and you can only activate one of these once per turn. I love that we have made a field spell that gains you life points, floats into other pieces. This card, in my opinion, is one of the best utility parts of this theme. And we still haven't even got to the best part because self-replacement life point gain, that's just a start. Over here is RB Stage Landing. And this is by far probably the most insane card. So let's choose special summon an RB monster from your deck or extra deck with a different name from the cards that you control. If an RB monsters you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, we can banish this card from the graveyard instead. You can also special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate this card, except for machine monsters with 1,500 or less attack. There you go, everybody. This thing cheats out the Link 3 with ease, basically being able to pseudo bring it on out and put your opponent into a really weird position here, which is just absolutely amazing. This card, not being a once per turn, is crazy to think about. And I actually hope here that this Megazord is going to be a really, really cool theme. And I can't wait for the second wave of support. I think that's the one I'm most excited about. You know, these cards are great. They did a fantastic job with this stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what this theme is going to bring to the table here in the future. But please, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.